Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to Tazewell County. Let's see what episode this is here. Tazewell County, episode number 18. And, in the last time that we were together, we harvested wheat off of our two wheat fields. One of the wheat fields is sort of a shared field with our hay meadow. And so realized that we had about 235,000 liters of wheat, and we certainly do not need 235,000 liters of wheat to sustain our operations here on our farm. We really only need to grow the wheat for our pigs, our pig station, and obviously for the straw component that we get off of the wheat. And so what we're going to do is we've got a couple of different jobs that we need to do today. Just sort of jobs that are sort of wrapping up our summer. This is the 8th game day of summer, and this video will more or less constitute the end of summer for us. I don't think I will do a video for the last game day of summer. I think the next time that we come together, we will actually be harvesting corn from our cornfields. And I just realized that this feels awfully slow, but it's probably more realistic. I would have to possibly say, but we're at about 20,000 liters here and 28% capacity of our tipper trailer here. So we'll let this fill up because we want to take a full load out to the mill. And of course, where we've got to go is we've got to go all the way down to the co-op down there in the southeastern portion of the map, Tremont Co-op, to one of the pits there that we'll need to empty in. And of course, we will become quite intimately familiar with Tremont Co-op as we begin harvesting our corn and as we begin harvesting our soybeans, because of course, just as a reminder for you, if you're just joining this series at this particular point in time, we are only harvesting wheat, which we've already done, and corn and soybeans on this map. This is sticking to as sort of real life, real world scenario as potentially possible. This is a real life working farm of the map author, the map designer of this map, the SimStation. You'll find his links to his YouTube channel and everything down below the video. Very appreciative that I get the opportunity to play this map. It's really been a lot of fun, and it has really reminded me of sort of what real farming here, especially in the Midwest, is actually just like. And of course, this takes place in Illinois, in Tazewell County, Illinois. So I'm going to be quiet for just a few moments and let this tipper trailer go ahead and fill up, because we're just at almost 60% there. And I will cut this portion of the video out, and when we get back together, we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, 70,000 liters loaded, and let's go ahead and cover our trailer up. There we go. You'll just have to sort of disregard that little bit that leaked out there on the top. And let's go ahead and get rolling here. So we're going to head on out to Tremont Co-op and sell this load of wheat, as I talked about just a few minutes ago before the edit cut. And we do have, like I said, a few other things that we need to do here on the farm. Again, this is more or less just all in preparation. This is all prep work for basically, come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There you go. This is all basically prep work to get ourselves in a better position for fall, for all the work that we need to do on fall, because we have quite a number of fields. I sort of forget off the top of my head right now just how many additional fields that we have to harvest. It's about split down the middle, about 50-50 in corn and in soybeans. And of course, we're expecting our corn crops to obviously come in first. It is looking pretty good right now. I'm thinking within the next day or so it'll be ready to go. And of course, we've got the co-op is going to be furnishing us our mother bin, and they will be pulling that out to the main farm and everything in due time. And I'm going to just kind of slip through this stop sign here, just because I need a little bit of momentum to get up this hill here. This is probably a little bit of an underpowered truck for quite this load of material, but as I had pointed out to you in, I think, the previous episode, the last episode, the the other semi that's in the game, is because it has the dual rear axles. It conflicts with this trailer. The turning radius is not very nice, and so I really, for whatever reason, I really like this trailer, this belly dump trailer. It's about the most realistic that I've seen, that doesn't have a lot of problems for Farm Sim 17, and I'm just really trying to stick with the immersion and everything of a U.S. type farm, and of course these are the types of tippers and stuff that I see moving up and down the highways and byways and such of our great nation. So anyway, hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. In the real world for me, you guys know that I'm a bit ahead of schedule with my video production, video recording and everything. It is actually the morning of Easter Sunday. It is the 1st of April, no fooling, the 1st of April, Easter Sunday, and I'm just up early this morning, as I normally am, and I think I've, let's turn our turn signal off. I know I recorded yesterday 2 episodes of Midtown USA, and one of those episodes you'll obviously watch tomorrow, Friday, the 20th of April, so that's, how far ahead I am. And I might have talked about, might have went into some detail as far as my sleep routine and all that kind of stuff. I won't go into that again, or maybe it was the video that you watched on Monday, I can't remember. But anyway, in any event, I usually wake up pretty much same time every day, regardless of whether it's the weekend or a holiday or whatever, and it just, I think it's just that I've just reached that point in my life where, getting up early in the mornings is not a problem, and of course I do go to bed kind of early, even on the weekends. It's about all I can do to stay awake until 10:30. But anyway, since I'd already more or less covered this conversation before, I won't go into that again. There's our co-op right up there on the sort of to the right there, if you look through the windscreen, the four or five silos that you see there, that is our co-op. So as you can see, this is a fairly big map. Of course, we're playing it relatively small. We're sticking pretty much close to the main farm area. That's kind of how I like to play my maps. I really like for things, if it's at all possible, I really like for my animals and my fields and everything to be somewhat centrally located around the main farm area. I don't typically like to jump around and do a field way over here, and of course I know that there's all sorts of scenarios that we could certainly play into that sort of routine or dialogue. Certainly things like coming over and harvesting fields for neighboring farmers and that sort of thing. But anyway, I like to try to keep everything, all of my ducks in a row, if you will. I like to have everything as centrally located as possible, and it is kind of a challenge to find. It is sort of a challenge to find a map that does have all of your animal types sort of around the main farm and your fields and such as that. So as you know, when I typically start a new map, a new series, much like I did with Tazewell County and Midtown USA and such, I will often buy up additional fields before I start the series, just to sort of, that's kind of how I like to do things. There's no right or wrong way to play this game, ladies and gentlemen. I see a lot of dialogue out on the forums and everything, and I sometimes see other people bash people like myself, for example, who don't want to basically do career mode, what I call career mode, each and every map that we play. And when I mean career mode, I sort of mean going in and starting with all of the fields that the map author, the mod author, has more or less designed you to start with, and all that stuff. I like to kind of come in and play it like I want to play it. So what we would do here is we're going to come up and we're going to stop on the scale here, because that's kind of how things are done in real life here. We're gonna basically get our weight, and we're going to stop here, and let's see. We're at 46,919, so we're going to wait for our buzzer. We're not going to hear a buzzer, obviously. Bzzz, there's our buzzer. So now we will proceed to where we need to go. So let's go ahead and take our parking brake off. They've filled out our ticket for us. Then we're going to pull up here, and we need the driver's check weight tickets for crop type. What does that say? Crop type, name, PL or cell. I don't know what that is, but anyway, yeah, corn. We've got corn. No, we've got wheat, don't we? Okay, I don't know what that means, but in any event, we'll go ahead and try to find our correct silo here that we need to empty into. And I've never sold any crops here, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time for me. So let's see. I tell you what, let me park here and let me get out and see what's going on here. So pit 3 is around back. Okay, so we've got wheat here in pit. I don't know what pit this is. Oh, soybeans are going here, and then wheat over here, and then just so we know, soybeans are there. So it looks like there's 2 pits of, oh, this is where you buy soybeans. Okay, well, we don't want to do that, so we're basically selling. So we need to come in here and do that, sell our wheat. All right. Good to know how all this works before we actually, and I'm assuming pit 3 is where we're going to sell corn, and it's around back. And we were back there a couple of episodes ago when we talked about the mother bin and everything. So we'll go ahead and uncover, and we're going to drive up over our pit here, and we're going to basically sell them some wheat. Let's see what we get. The SimStation did an excellent job in laying this out, and of course this is true to life. $19,047. Well, that'll buy us something on the farm. Now what we need to do here is we have to come back around and we have to weigh out again, because that's obviously just how it's done. So we're gonna circle around here and we're gonna get weighed. And we've weighed out 18,219. We'll sign our ticket and off we go again. All right, well, that's how all this will work, and of course, like I said, we'll become a lot more familiar with this process in the coming game days, because what we're going to be doing, just to sort of recap again, whenever it comes time to harvest our corn and our soybeans, we'll be basically selling directly off the field. So the co-op is going to be bringing out a mother bin, and they're probably going to do that in the next, probably in the next day, maybe even later this afternoon. I'm not sure what their schedule is. I suppose I should have asked, but hey, I don't want to pester them. They know what the deal is. They know when our schedule is and all of that kind of stuff. And of course, they are providing that mother bin service for other farmers, and it's possible that it'll be coming off of a field and coming over to us directly. So in any event, we're going to basically utilize the mother bin. The mother bin will sit out on our fields somewhere, and when we start to harvest the corn, obviously we'll be harvesting all the corn fields first, get the corn in the mother bin, and then basically transport from the mother bin to the co-op cell, and then we'll reposition the mother bin if necessary, if it's needed to be repositioned, and hopefully very soon after the corn harvest is done, we're going to be ready to start harvesting the soybeans, and that'll just be cool timing, and we'll get all of this, all the fun and everything of the harvest. And that's my I guess that's the most fun period for me as well on with farm sim and everything is the harvest season, getting the harvest done. It's quite cool. I've had a really good fun time on Midtown USA. I've got to say that course play, even though there was some challenges with the way that I wanted to do course play, it has been working quite well in getting the harvest done. I'm guessing that the episode that you will watch tomorrow, the 20th of April, that's going to wrap up the harvest. That'll be the last of the soybeans will be in that video, because I recorded both. I recorded both episode 27 and 28 yesterday on Saturday. Got both of those out of the way, and it was quite easy, quite easy to do, because, since I was in the frame of mind to harvest, it was easy to just go ahead and do both, get all the 3 fields done and get everything in. And we had quite the haul. And so I'm trying to, there'll be 2 more episodes of Midtown. I figure we'll make the series a nice around 30 episodes, and get that done and get Midtown buttoned up and closed up, and then start our next adventure. And that will be starting hopefully in around the 1st of May, I would hope. I have already started laying the map out, getting everything sort of Grizzly Bear Sims way, the way I kind of do things, the way I like to do things. And again, kind of going back to what I was talking about just a few minutes ago, there is no right or wrong way to play the game. However you want to play it is what is the best way you can play it. If you want to go in and cheat some money in and buy up the type of equipment that you enjoy playing with, then by all means do that. If you want to do career mode, where you, again, sort of how I define career mode is, playing it the way that the mod author intended it to, with the starting equipment that he or she have provided you, and go from there. And of course, I recommend everyone at least once, if not maybe twice in your virtual farming career, play career mode. Play it the way that the map author intended it to be played. I typically do that once per new farm sim release. So for example, I got started into the farm sim franchise with farm sim 15, and of course I really didn't, to be quite honest, for maybe several weeks, I really didn't know that you could cheat money in. I really didn't know about mods. I really didn't know about those kind of things. So I did play Westbridge Hills in career mode. I basically started harvesting and everything. And of course, career mode, if you're playing it without seasons, career mode is a lot easier to do. You can progress a lot quicker if you're playing it in career mode without seasons, because you can literally, plant your fields. Obviously, most maps come with some fields already planted, and if you're not playing with seasons, those fields are typically ready to harvest. And you can fertilize, plow, fertilize, cultivate, seed, all that kind of stuff, wash, rinse, and repeat. You can do that multiple times over a period of, a few hours, if you wanted to, if you could. And I'm just going to turn in here, and we're going to go ahead and take the semi and the tipper around back to the backyard, because that's where we're going to do our next task, is back there. But anyway, you get the point. And with seasons, the problem with seasons is, unless you're planning on playing a map for multiple game years, multiple season years, then it's going to be a while before you can earn enough money to we'll just jump over the stuff here. Billy Bob and Jack did a great job getting everything prepped for our next task. And so I'll just kind of go around this building here, and that way we're ready to line the truck up and all of that good stuff. We'll probably sell some more wheat, would be my guess. 70,000 liters I think is what this tipper holds, and we had like 235, so really we only need probably 40,000 liters or so to get everything done that we need to get done. But anyway, that's that. So regardless of what you decide to do and how you decide to do things, don't let anyone say that what you're doing and how you're playing a game, whether it's this game or whether it's ATS or ETS2 or anything like that, there's no right or wrong way to do things. I mean, obviously there are some cool things about playing career mode, but then there's also some cool things about playing it like you've owned things for a number of years. And so anyway, our second task of the day, I suppose, is going to be, we're going to bale up this hay around back. We have the last couple of days, Billy Bob and Jack and I have been working to cut our grass. This will most likely be the last time that we cut grass for this year. This should get us enough hay, as well as enough grass. The big hay meadow that we have worked in previously, that is all set up, and that is basically already been cut, and it's already been raked, and that will be collected as grass. We'll be using the foraging wagon to go around and collect that grass and take that grass and dump it into our silage silos. So that'll be quite cool, and of course we'll do that task just as soon as we get this one done here. What's your favorite thing to do on your virtual farm? Do you have a specific task? Is there one thing that you really enjoy over the others? And in addition to that, is there one task on the farm, on your virtual farm, that you just absolutely despise? I will say, I will provide my answers. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that I absolutely do enjoy mowing. Of course, my friend, my partner in crime, Duckzorly, he is of course the Lord of the Grass, and I'm pretty sure he won't mind me saying that, I do enjoy cutting grass. Of course, I am not worthy for the title of Lord of the Grass, because he does such a fantastic job with it, and of course he cuts grass in such high volume. He will cut grass forever, and basically produce hundreds, if not thousands, of bales that he will obviously either use or sell or whatever. He does it in such large proportions, and it's very cool to watch him. If you've not watched a grass episode of his where he's really going in heavy on the grass production, hay production, or whatever, you're certainly missing out. But I do enjoy mowing. I think it's just, well, and I will include everything that is associated with that. So the raking, the tethering, or I should say the mowing, the tethering, the raking, and the baling. I do enjoy those elements of it. I'm not very good at bell handling, so as long as I have a sort of an automated way of picking up hay bales or straw bales or whatever, I'm happy. And that can even be the in-game ones. If you're baling round bales, which I don't typically bale round bales, simply because, well, I sort of get fed up with chasing them all over the place, because they will roll if you have any sort of incline to your fields or whatever. They will sort of roll away, and you will end up chasing them. And if your fences don't have collisions on them, then essentially you could end up chasing them into the neighboring county if you're not careful. And of course, that was the beauty of Coldborough Park Farm for Farm Sim 17, was the fact that Bullet Bill figured out a way. I'm not sure how he did it, because I'm not a map author. I don't really have that skill, and I don't have that patience really. But he figured out a way to basically have his fences basically have collisions on them for straw, for hay only, or for bales only. So in other words, a lot of folks don't like playing with collisions on fences because, well, it does present problems with your equipment getting tangled up in them and everything. Of course, it would do the same thing in the real world. If you get too close to a fence with your rake or your baler or your tedder or whatever, you're gonna have problems. But a lot of folks don't like the collisions because of that, and that's to each his own. That's fine. But anyway, I thought that was kind of cool that he was able to sort of appease the folks that don't want the collisions for vehicles. Let's take this one here. That don't want the collisions for the vehicles, but yet essentially left the bell collision on. So if a bell was rolling on Coldborough Park Farm, it would stop at the fence. Now, likewise, if you had bells on the back of your tractor or your trailer or whatever, I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me correctly, it would stop those as well. So in other words, collisions could be on for that example, but not for anything else. And I just thought that was cool. So anyway, my favorite things would be the component of essentially producing hay. So mowing, tethering, raking, baling, and as long as I've got a sort of a semi-automatic way of collecting the bells, either a automatic loading trailer or one of the in-beam loaders, that's fine. I can enjoy those as well. My least favorite thing to do on the virtual farm, and this sort of came about with as I'm pushing that bell of hay. Let's try to get that off away from there. My least favorite thing to do on the virtual farm came to be with Farm Sim 17, and that has to do with the animal cleanliness, cleaning up after the animals. Now I don't so much mind, even though I do sometimes forget about it. Let's pick up the pickup and let's spit these bells out, because we are done, I believe. And I will just park the baler over here, because we're going to go and do our third and final job for the day, and that happens to be picking up some of the grass. So we're just going to leave this here. But the animal, it's easy to get hung up on this John Deere tractor. You got to kind of really walk away from it before you can proceed to walk forward. The animal cleanliness, the food, and I'm talking about the food spilling out around the food trough and everything. That is my least favorite thing to do. I'll be honest. It was cool for the first map or so, but then it just became more of a task that I just sort of despised. Now, there are obviously some cool workarounds for that. There is a mod that I use on pretty much all of my maps called Animal Table Manners, and of course that just essentially gives your animals, your pigs, your sheep, your cows, the education that they need to know not to spill their food all over the place. So that's a very cool mod. And of course, if you don't play with that mod installed, there are now that 17 has, you know, been out quite a while, and I believe these mods started coming in even after just a few months of Farm Sim 17 coming out. There are some cool ways, some machinery and stuff like that, some attachments, PTO driven kind of things that do kind of help with that, speed that up. I guess the map that sort of broke that for me, that sort of made me realize that I just don't like this task, this cleaning, and I don't mind mucking out the barn. So like here on Tazewell, we have to, even though I failed to realize this until just actually a couple of game days ago, that we needed to do that, because some maps that I play, obviously like Thornton Farm as an example, no, Thornton Farm you have to muck that out as well, but Midtown USA, it automatically accumulates the manure for you in the manure pit. But anyway, the map that sort of, I think, made me realize that I just really did not like that process was probably, and I can't remember the name, but I had the name of the map on my head just a few minutes ago. I can't think of it right now. I'll have to think of what that was and then put that on the screen for you. But I think that there was some issues with the triggers, there was some issues with the floor not being even, and it really became kind of a problem. It was more problematic than anything else, and so as a result, I just really grew a bit bored with it and realized that, okay, that's just maybe not my cup of tea. And so I found the Animal Tables Manor mod and haven't really looked back. And of course, the way I play my maps, you know, I've always got helpers, whether they be my old standbys of Billy Bob, Jack, or maybe Smithy or Thomas on Thornton Farm, etc. I've always got folks that, you know, in my mind, that's who does the cleaning up after the animals, or is my hired help. Because obviously, if you own a farm like this, then you don't have time to be doing that. That's what you're gonna let your hired workers do, right? All right. Well, we are coming up on about 35 minutes, and I'm thinking that I know that there was some time that I'll be editing out of the video while we were waiting for the semi to fill up. So what I will do is we'll fill one more forage wagon full of grass, and of course this is going into our silage silo for silage purposes, and this will essentially give us enough silage to last the winter and the spring and back around until early summer, until we can cut grass again. And so we won't need to do this again. So what I'll be doing is most likely over the next game day or two, until basically our corn comes in and our corn is ready, I'll get the animals all fed up to their maximum level, get them cleaned up, all that kind of stuff, get them mucked out, and that way, again, we don't have to mess with that, because we're going to be focusing on obviously on harvesting. Now, of course, the harvest will go, it'll take more than 3 game days, so your animals can be topped up, and that will last for 3 game days. So the harvest will take longer than that, most likely, because there's probably going to be a period of time where the corn's going to come ready in the next game day or two, and then it's going to be a while before the soybeans come in, and some of the soybean fields may not come in at the same time as the others. So in any event, we may have to tend to the animals and everything between harvest sessions, but we'll take care of all that. May do some of that on camera, but once you kind of cover that once, maybe twice, there's not much need to continue to kind of do that, because it does get boring after a while. And I try to keep things moving as quickly as I know how to do, and sort of as quickly as I can sort of tell the story and make sure that, you know, everything is kind of covered with what we need to do and how we need to do it and everything. So, all right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching my episodes. I suppose I could have just driven up and hit the trigger sideways like that, but I'll back up for a little more immersion factor there. So I thank you for watching my episodes, for tuning in, for commenting, for liking. If you're not a subscriber to the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, why not? Please also make sure that you are coming over and that you will check out not only my Discord channel, but also the Simulation Gaming Society Discord channel. That is the new group that myself, Eustace Pharmer, and Duckzorly have formed. So thank you all so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever the case might be. And please, if you have like a Twitter account or a Facebook account or something like that, share my videos. You might have some friends and such that might enjoy this. And of course, as always, if you have children or grandchildren, don't hesitate to set them down in front of the computer screen or your smart TV if you have those capabilities, and let them watch my farming adventures, because I am 100% family friendly. I run a G-rated channel. Everything that I put out is 100% family friendly, viewable for all audiences. That is something I take great pride in. And you know, my friends Duckzorly and Eustace Pharmer, they do the same. It is just something that we believe in and we want to be able to do. And I know that we have quite a few younger people that's watching our channels, and that's important to us. So again, without further ado, folks, take good care of yourselves and also of each other. God bless you all, and come back again very soon. Bye-bye for now.